Hello again, it's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. We are so glad that you have joined us. Steve Post here in the Hercules Tire Studios in Concord, North Carolina, from the Lethal Chassis Studios up in Pennsylvania. Ashley Stremme is alongside. How are you?
I am better. My voice is almost back after a week of being in the Midwest. It was an awesome time being able to see Houston and Jackson for the first time.
I knew, Ashley. I knew when we went to Jackson, because we had been there before, we had the hauler parade and the gathering at the penalty box, and the gang was all gathered. The locals were all there, and we walked in. You know, the Houston's, we were busy a lot. We were in and out and busy. We got to walk the pits a little bit, but at Jackson, and it's like we walk over, introduce everybody, and like 30 seconds later, it's all family. Whether it's people that I hadn't seen in a couple years or people you've never met. That is just the sprint car world in a nutshell, that we're all kin, even though we're not related to each other.
It's so true. Beth at the penalty box made sure that we were hydrated all week long. And I've said it numerous times, like Pennsylvania, we've got the posse, and in the Midwest, we've got now the Minnesota Mafia that I'm a part of now as well. Absolutely awesome people, and such a great weekend.
Great weekend, that is for sure. Hey, we're going to talk to Cole Macedo here on the program. So look forward to talking with him. He is tearing it up in the state of Ohio. But speaking of awesome weekends, when we look at the races at Houston, they were so good. And the races at Jackson, they were so good. But this year is a $50,000 pass. The AGCO Jackson Nationals from Jackson Motorplex. David Gravel's leading. Here comes Logan Schuhart, our good friend. Austin Lloyd, track announcer at Jackson Motorplex, with the call on Dirt Vision.
And now for the Dryden Defying Move of the Week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Into 1 and 2, they're side by side, wheel to wheel, wing to wing, and they'll race that way down the back straightaway. Gravel strong to the inside of Schuhart. Gravel's going to reclaim the race lead, slides up the racetrack. Schuhart turns it to the left at the line. You've got a new leader. It's Logan Schuhart.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Def, the official def of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Pride. Passion.
Performance.
We are.
We are.
We are Team Dryden.
Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Continuing on, let's go to the Hercules Tire Hotline. Joining us from the great state of Ohio is Cole Macedo. Hello, Cole. Welcome into Wing Nation.
Oh, how's it going?
We're doing great. I'm looking at the results from Fremont and Attica. You're getting a bunch of wins up there, leading the points over at Attica. Looks like you're doing pretty well as well. Looks like Ohio is suiting your style pretty well.
Yeah, we've definitely had a good year, this far, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Cole, a California kid now in Ohio. How much has the transition been? Obviously, you were there last year and now this year. Has it been a hard transition? Are you missing home in California at all?
I don't know if it's been a hard transition. It's just different. I wouldn't say I missed home a whole lot. You can race here so much more. So that's been awesome. I love to do it. So that's been good. Only thing I would say I'd miss about home is just, the little more of a bull ring style racing, and you're always up on the wheel and running big curves and whatnot, where, like you said, the transition is, you come here and you got these real slick racetracks with not much to lean on, to say, and, it just takes a different driving style. And, but yeah, I mean, it hasn't been too tough. Linders have given me a really good car every night, and that helps. But I think that we've done pretty good.
Cole, your brother, of course, Carson, one of the top drivers on the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Tour. I kind of want to go back a little bit. We've talked to him about coming up through the ranks and trying to make his way into racing. Has that been something that you've kind of wanted to do your whole life as well?
Yeah, for sure. That's the ultimate goal, is to get to the World of Outlaw Tour, and that's what I think most of us drivers strive for. That kind of leave home and trying to take that next step. So, hopefully this is, coming to Ohio is a step in the right direction, and hopefully one day I can be, racing with him.
Obviously, being the younger brother, the spotlight always shines, it seems, on the other older brother as you're trying to find your way. But earlier this year, there was an awesome headline on an article that says, Ohio success putting Cole Macedo on the map. Cole, what does that mean to you, knowing that you are paving your own way? You've got your brother to rely on, but ultimately this is, what you're doing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that headline, and that kind of, I feel like, lifted some weight off of me. I love being, Carson Macedo's brother and whatnot, but like you said, the spotlight is on him most of the time, which he's done a lot in his career that has put him there. So, but yeah, that was the reason why I wanted to get out of California and come out here and try to make a name for myself. And I think that with Linder's and giving me a good car every night and us having some success, I think that, I think that I'm starting to pave my own way, which is good. That's that, like I said, that's the ultimate goal, is to get people to know, who I am and not just, that I'm Carson Macedo's brother. But, it's actually worked out for me several times, him having such a big name. That's the reason that Linder's knew me and other car owners have known me. And so, it's actually been good.
Well, I want to do this brother thing, okay? Because there's another pair of brothers in California, the Selzy brothers, okay? Dominic and Gio, who could not be more polar opposite from each other. Now, I guess Gio behind the scenes is a pretty good cut up as well. But are you two, you and Carson, similar as far as the mannerisms, the driving, or are there big differences between the two of you as well?
I would say on the track, I would say that we're pretty close to the same. I think that we both, are up on the wheel, giving it 115% all the time. Which many people don't like, but car owners do. But off the track, I would say we're definitely polar opposites. He's always, putting on a good professional, face and always really good talker and whatnot. And I wish I was like that. I just, and I'm getting better at it, but, I've been a little slower learner to that. I feel like I'm always, me and Linders have said that too. But yeah, I just feel like, Carson's a little more quiet and keeps to himself and whatnot, where I'm just me, all the time. So, yeah, I would say that we're definitely opposite off the track, but on the track, I would say that we're, if you didn't know who was in which car, not talking about results wise, but if we're just out there racing, I don't think that people would, see a difference.
Well, I can say this: you're the younger and much more handsome brother. So we'll go with that here for Wing Nation today.
I appreciate that.
There we go. We'll do that. Hey, Cole, hang in there with us. Everyone else, stick around. More coming up with Cole Macedo in just a moment.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
Oh, I just stopped by to grab some sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
You can never go wrong with a Honey Crisp. They're light, crisp, and full of perfectly balanced flavor.
Oh, hey.
You could always go with one of their classics, the Gala or Fuji. They're both sweet and juicy.
Grown in the heart of Eastern Washington, Sage Fruit Company works hard on the farm and with their retail partners to provide high-quality apples and pears to consumers all year long.
Well, I couldn't decide which ones. Thanks for the help, guys.
I'll race you to checkout.
Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit, continues on here on the Hercules Tire Hotline is Cole Macedo joining us from up in Ohio. And Cole, we had talked about, and you have mentioned the Linder family and really getting almost like your own sprint car family there in Ohio's. What they do in the Ohio sprint car community, it seems like a close-knit family. Do you feel the same way up there with all those people around you now?
Yeah, for sure. I would say that they've given me as close to a home as I have at home as possible. I think that they really take time and take care of their drivers and build a relationship with them, and I think that's why they have success. Mike and Stephanie, they welcome pretty much anybody into their home. There's people rolling in and out of here every day, new people that I've never even met before. So I didn't realize how many people knew them or are comfortable being around them. So that tells you something itself. But yeah, they definitely have taken care of me and my brother too, and Buddy also. Buddy still rolls in and out of here, when he's not racing for Coons. But yeah, I mean, it's just Mike and Stephanie, they're just some of the greatest people you ever meet. They welcome me in and feed me and wash all my clothes and my suits and everything. Whatever I need, if I was to ask them to do it, they would do it. So, which is awesome.
There's no doubt about it. When you hear the Linder's name, they are a staple of Ohio sprint car racing. A lot of people wouldn't be where they're at today without them, for sure. To go a little off track with you, Cole, I saw on your Twitter a few weeks ago that you were golfing with a fellow Californian, Ron Kemps. Now, how did that all come about? Obviously, you're sponsored by Napa of Fremont. Was there like a Napa connection there?
Yeah, so Rich Farmer owns most of the Napas here in Ohio, or, in this area that we live in. So he had a golf outing. Napa, the corporate Napa deal, had a golf outing there in Mansfield, and Farmer needed a teammate, and I golfed all through high school and whatnot. So he needed a teammate, and I came out there, and we're golfing along, and here comes Ron Caps, and he's talking to us, and I feel like he kind of knew, hey, this guy looks familiar, and he didn't really say anything. And then my brother got brought up, and he's like, wait, you're a Macedo? And yeah, we had a good conversation and talked about him knowing the Selzy boys and all that, and me growing up with them. And yeah, it was cool to meet Ron, and he's a super good guy and real talented. So talking to him and getting some advice from him and whatnot was definitely cool. He's a pretty good putter too. He came on the putting green and we all putted our balls and tried to get closest to the hole. It was a best ball tournament, and he came up and showed us all how it was done. So I'm sure that's what the tweet you were seeing. But yeah.
That is so neat. Yeah, we've had Ron Caps on the program before here because he's a sprint car guy. He loves sprint cars. Him and Cruz Pedregon, and they both love sprint cars. It is really, really neat. So he's a little bit better putter, overall golfer. Could you hold your own with him, or didn't you get into that?
We didn't really play any complete holes with him. I don't know if he does golf a whole lot. I don't know. I don't know if I'd keep up with it or not. I played all through high school. I got some fundamentals and I play all right, but I've never played with him. So I'd love to do that one day though. Playing with guys like him, and I've played with my brother and Kyle Larson and stuff like that. So playing with big name guys with that is always cool, and being able to talk with them and not take your mind off racing a little bit. So yeah.
No doubt about it. I just have to ask though, I mean, we know Ron isn't a super tall guy, but he's not crazy short. But in that photo, you look like you're 7'5". How tall are you, Cole?
Yeah, this is a question that I've been asked many times. I'm actually 6'3", on the verge of being 6'4", so that's pretty dang tall. Ron, I would say, his height is pretty. He's not short by any means. I'm just huge. So, yeah, it was that thing blew up on Twitter. Everybody, kind of making short jokes to him and, Jolly Green Giant jokes to me. So, yeah, that was funny.
That is funny. Yeah. Yeah. Being 6'3" as a sprint car racer, are there, as you've evolved and adapted, and I know we've gone a little bit over the last few years to taller cages, but are there some things that you have to do different, being that your stature is taller than your brother? And then when you look at guys like Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson, are there things different because of your height?
Yeah, I would say being tall like I am is definitely a disadvantage in sprint car racing. I would say actually all racing, even them like riding a horse, them jockeys, they're just over 4 foot. So, some of them. So I would say that it's definitely a disadvantage. I run a Fiberworks seat. I was fortunate enough to get a Fiberworks seat sponsored to me. One of the best seats in the business. So their seats are, make you sit in the car a little taller. They're a little more flat, and you have to run an insert in them. They're super comfortable. It's just, it makes me sit a little higher. So usually I have to either have a halo. I'm right on the verge of being too tall in a normal, the average sprint car. I'm just under the bar. So, usually either, a halo has to be welded in, gets the cage to, be up a little bit higher and give me some more head space, just in case it got upside down or whatnot. But Linders, they are, they're able to fabricate many, and, they're really good hands-on. And so we cut all the butt bars out of our cars for this year, and I was here with them. That's why I stayed in Ohio a little later last year, and we got all that dealt with before I went home and raced. So they cut the butt bars down and lowered them a little bit, kind of like all the Jason Johnson cars, because Jason Johnson was a little bit taller too. So, yeah, that lowered me down enough where we didn't have to mess with our frames at all, halo-wise and whatnot, and, to try to keep the car to react the same as they had the year prior. So, but also, your weight, where it's placed in the car, now me being taller, the weight is placed, further up in the car too. So it's going to make the car react different. For the first 3 or 4 weeks, we struggled with Linders this year, and, they were quick time every single week last year, I felt like. So, they had to change their car around and set it up different to make it, work for me being a taller guy. So, yeah, I would definitely say it's a disadvantage. But, you can still make it work, and we can still be fast for sure.
I'm fascinated all the time when we get into the details and the finer points of sprint car racing, but well, we're at the end of the timeline we have here for the window. Cole, we appreciate you taking some time out. We wish you continued success up in Ohio and as you climb the sprint car ladder. Thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There we go. Cole Macedo joining us here, Californian transplanted over to the state of Ohio. Stay with us. Our Tweet Your Seat Tweet of the Week and a lap around the sprint car world are coming up next.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
We're back here watching Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit, and it is time for the Tweet Your Seat Tweet of the Week, and this comes from our pal in Pennsylvania, Rich Watts. It's Mr. Addicted to Dirt, and of course, we love nothing more than sunsets from sprint car tracks. We got to see a great one in Jackson this past weekend. But of course, this one comes from Bats Motor Speedway. It is Pennsylvania Speed Weeks, and Brett Marks was your winner.
Sunday night racing at Baps Motor Speedway. Let's do this now. Let's take a lap around the sprint car world. How about this, Ashley? Turn number 1, Dale Blaney, Saturday night, Sharon Speedway. Sprint Car Hall of Famer, all-star official, picked up the ride with Rich Farmer, and he won at the home track.
Yeah, most people probably wonder if he still has it. Well, he proved them all wrong. Obviously, he still does. And he's very matter of fact when he tweets. And he said, I appreciate everybody's texts and tweets yesterday. Rich Farmer has a fast race car. Step 1 is now complete. Not sure how many steps I got left on this journey, but I do enjoy walking.
It is neat, that's for sure. I love the fact that Leah, his daughter, Hayden, and young Loudon were there to celebrate in Victory Lane. A great family moment at the family racetrack. The Lou Blaney Memorial is coming up soon as well. Let's go into turn number 2 now. Dominic Selzy's year continues. He was going to stay close to California. He was going to run a little bit maybe in the Midwest. He's going to have a family, he's going to have a new home, and maybe race a little bit. Well, his racing has been outstanding. Last weekend, they went to Skagit for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, and Ashley, it turned out pretty good for the boy up there.
Yeah, the first prelim, he ended up second. The second prelim, he ended up first, and ended up winning Saturday's 15,000 Dirt Cup Championship. We talked to Dominic while we were in Houston. It's awesome stuff. But this is 11 wins now this season.
Amazing, it
12.
really is. Yeah, and the list of people that have won that race is just incredible, from Jimmy Sills to Doug Wolfgang to Sam Haferteep Jr. to Casey Kane. It's amazing. Down the back straightaway we go into turn number 3. Would you kiss a bear? I don't know if we're going to kiss the bear this year. We'll have to see. Next up for the Lucas Oil National Tour is the Grizzly Nationals at Gallentown Speedway. But Ashley, Adam the Bear may have retired. One news account says he may have retired. Are they even going to race if you can't kiss the bear?
I mean, I wouldn't want to kiss the bear, but I do have to admit that that's a phenomenal Victory Lane picture, even though most of the time the driver's standing on one side of the car while the bear's on the other. But I hate to hear that he retired, but we all have to do that sometimes.
We'll see what happens. Wayne Johnson had the best line. I knew I couldn't outrun the bear, but there was a couple photographers I felt like I could outrun if things got to that point. Finally, the month of money traditionally is what it's called. This year it's the summer of money. Started at Huset's with 30 grand, Jackson 50 grand. We have got Brad Doty Classic, Kings Royal, 2 $175,000 to win races, the Don Martin Silver Cup, Summer Nationals, the Ironman 50, the Knox. The World of Outlaw drivers are going to be making multiple trips to the bank. That is for sure. The month of money this year has turned into the summer of money. And there you have it, our lap around the sprint car world.
I'm not ready yet. Come on. All right, I'm ready now.
Hey, Ashley, what are you up to?
I just okay. I just stopped by to pick up my sage fruit apples. Now I just have to decide which ones.
Yeah, okay.
This is what it looks like when you do it.
Ta-da!
Take a deep breath, count to 5. It's like running across a rhythm section at a motocross track.
Mine was perfect.
Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit, continues on. We've talked a lot on our show about our trip to Huset's and our trip to Jackson, and well, I had to leave Jackson early, so I left Aaron and Ashley up there all by themselves, and well, things apparently at the mall got a little out of hand here. Ashley, what in the wide world of sports was going on with you and Aaron?
Oh, yeah. Well, we got rained out, so we needed to find something to do. And when you put the two of us together, you never know what shenanigans we might come up with. But I'm pretty sure Aaron paid the girl more, so hers was faster. And of course, I'm a complainer just like every other racer when I don't win.
So you're saying that the World of Outlaw winner and the Knoxville National Qualifiers, you feel like toe-to-toe you could have gone even with her in racing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, on my motorcycle, not in a sprint car by any means. She is the queen of sprint car racing.
The queen of speed. Yeah, that's for sure. Now, great time for sure. Everybody, even with the rainouts, a great time. And it is neat. We're into the month of July. We talked about it just a little bit ago, the month of money. So many big races coming up. Make sure you get out and support your local sprint car track. And Ashley, if you're in the Ohio area, Cole Macedo, you might want to buy a t-shirt for this young man. He looks like he's got some talent. Really cool talking with him.
No doubt about it. He's going places for sure.
He really is. We appreciate him taking time to join us. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us here this week.